going, y'all? Welcome back to the chaos. If you're new here, I'm Ryan, and we're actually about to run to Toxic Customs. They're the shop that I've kind of allocated to help me with my front bumper project. So to get you up to speed, if you are new around here, I've got a 2008 Gen 4 Dodge Viper. Front end to me, ugly, just kind of leaves a lot to be desired. It looks like that classic old school Dodge pickup truck with a T-bar. I hate it. So upgrading it to the Gen 5, so that's been a whole process getting it converted. Well, we're going to the shop today to kind of, hopefully for the last time. It's one of those things, every time I go up there, I think, oh, this has got to be the last time before, you know, we're off to paint, and then I kind of finalize and going to pick the car up. So what do they say? If you speak it into existence, it'll happen. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, putting it out into the universe. So this is the last time, last update video. So hopefully next video, we're going to pick it up, but having some confidence. But in the last video, which I'll link down below, and I'll link the whole playlist so to get you caught up on all the trials and tribulations of the project so far. But in the last video, I kind of skipped over a few things. In the last video, they built out the inner structure, like the front bumper structure, crash bar. Well, that is all aluminum currently. I mean, it's still gonna be aluminum, but they're gonna paint it black. So right now it's like that raw silver color. And obviously when you look through the grill, you can still see it because it's not finalized. So I didn't touch on the fact that it's gonna be black in the last video, but no fear, if you're approaching the car, you won't notice that anything is out of place. So when you're looking through the grill, you won't see any of that shiny assembly back there. And then also, for those of you concerned about, oh, you're ruining the car and you're going to a Gen 5 and you know, it's gonna hurt the resale value, everything I'm doing is 100% reversible. So the way they built the bash bar and everything, it utilizes like the stock frame horn, the bolt locations. So that way it's a 100% bolt on, bolt off application. So if I ever get tired of this look, don't think I will, because that's the whole reason I'm going down this road. But if I ever decided, hey, I want to go back in time, back to the past, back to all stock, that kind of thing, it can be done. I can just bolt off the whole inner structure, bumper. Everything is utilizing factory pieces, so no fear there. And I've actually picked up a few finalizing touches. So tired of the silver look on the car, so got some black Viper badges to go on each side. So I think that'll just be kind of our cherry on top, icing on the cake, because on top of our front bumper project, we also threw an AutoForm rear spoiler on the car. So the whole car is just gonna be transformed, completely different look when we get it back. So enough talking, let's run to the shop and for hopefully the last time. You already know the drill. We made it to Toxic Customs, so let's jump in this big blue building and see how far the Viper's progressed. So I'm hyped up. For one of the first times, I'm actually like walking away feeling super excited about all the progress I've actually seen. They've actually been kind of, seems like dove into the deep end finally on this project. So knocking a lot of stuff off. Let's run home and then we'll give you kind of the rundown, kind of checklist of what all is left to do to the car. But we're making strides. I can see that light at the end of the tunnel now. Well, we're back in the Chaos Garage. So, and I've actually got some souvenirs, which is perfect. So that way I can kind of show you like that inner structure. Like I said, everything has been completely like revamped. So all the old Gen 4 stuff has come off. So that way like it's all intact. So I was able to bring that home. And doing so, yeah, that'll allow me to demonstrate like with the stock stuff, what he was able to replicate all custom. So let's take a look at the Gen 4 front bumper structure. So what you're looking at is this is the back side of the Gen 4 inner workings, like the inner bash bar and everything. And you'll notice, so the Gen 4 also had our air ducting that fed to our brake ducts. Well, it just slides into place like that. And obviously, being that we're switching to the Gen 5 stuff, it's got a different angle, just different. The mouth on the opening is a whole lot different and everything. So couldn't use the Gen 4 stuff, which I'm glad, because originally he was thinking about like hacking up the Gen 4 stuff to make it work, but all of this remains intact. So that way I can, if I ever decide to revert back, there you go, proof that I can do so. And the way that this inner structure actually mounts to the frame horns, you've got a big bolt here and a big bolt here on each side. So for our aluminum inner structure, he actually utilized those factory bolt hole locations for the frame horns, kind of use that as a reference point to build out the entire structure. Because if you remember, not only does that inner structure provide the support for the bumper cover itself, but it's also got to be strong enough to absorb an impact, you know, in case something bad does happen, if somebody tags me or anything, get an accident. So I actually feel like the aluminum structure is going to be stronger than what the Gen 4 factory stuff was anyway. So that's a plus. So at this point, the whole inner structure is done, still not painted, but it is complete. So he was able to get the hood latch mounted, so that way you can reach in, and it's still through the grill, because Vipers are weird. Instead of having like the hood pop on the interior of the car, you reach through the grill and that's how you pop your hood. So not only did that have to be kind of like relocated and finagled in the grill, but it looks factory. I mean, like when you look up in there, like it's perfect. You can reach it nicely to pop your hood. So he's got that done. And then for the brake ducting, he was actually able to utilize the Gen 5 air ducts. So that way we have our Gen 4 stuff intact. What he ended up doing there was kind of building like another additional, what he called like the clamshell. So it took the factory ducting. I'm gonna use our Gen 4 as an example, but so this is the part that actually feeds through your fender liner to your brakes. And then this front section is what actually connects up to the bumper, the intake that you see, like the pretty nice grill pieces in the bumper. Well, this is a different shape on the Gen 5. So, and the bumper doesn't sit quite the same. There was like a gap. So it was coming up about this short. So he could get this end finagled up there against the fender liner, but then the angle and just the actual size of your hole up here was different. So it was a little gap. So he's actually built like a clamshell to kind of fill that gap. And again, it's gonna look, well, one, you can't barely see it when you look through the grill, but once it's painted black and everything like that, like it fits snug in there, like it's not going anywhere. So I'm pleased with the way that, because I wasn't sure, I was originally thinking he might have to cut up our Gen 4 stuff and kind of blend it with the Gen 5, but he was able to come up with that. So even if I wanted to pull the Gen 5 stuff, it's still untouched as well, because that clamshell just kind of slides in between the plastic ducting and then the grill itself. He hasn't quite finished his actual plastic welding. So you notice he's kind of got from headlight to headlight done, but then he just actually ran out of material. He said it was taking way more of that filler. I'm not really sure how you plastic weld, but that filament that actually bonds it, he ran out of that. So he's got to order more, I think it's urethane that he's actually using. So we're down some Cleco clips, but we still got, I think, 3 on each side, unfortunately. So he's not quite done. So I was really hoping, like I said, I was trying to speak it into existence that this will be the final update video, but I have a feeling there's gonna be one more, so hang in there with me. But like I said, there was a lot of progress made today. So he does still have to finish plastic welding the sides. Then when he actually pulls the bumper off, he's gonna do the full backside as well. So it'll be strong. It's gonna have that strong bond between the upper blue Gen 4 portion and then the rest of the Gen 5. For the sides, he's actually gonna be able to utilize, or at least the hope is, kind of to make those caps before we put the aluminum filler panel in there. He's hoping to utilize like the actual Gen 4 wheel arch, the one that he cut off. So that would be sweet, because that would retain that natural line. It would just it would flow very well. So that's what he's aiming to do. So we have that left to finish, the plastic welding, the aluminum fill panel, and then cap the sides. Then our front bumper is done, ready for paint. So moving on to the back of the car, we now have the AutoForm rear spoiler mounted. Looks amazing. I really, really, really like that. So, you know, seeing it just set up on the car gave me a good visual, but now that it's actually mounted and on there permanently, I love it. And I threw in a little curveball while I had it in the shop. I had them paint like the lower rear valence black. And I've actually seen it, and I don't know if this is like a factory option, if it comes stock on some Vipers, not sure. But that lower section, I've seen it black on other cars, and I didn't hate the blue, but I feel like especially with the satin black spoiler, I feel like that lower valence needed to be satin black as well. So they painted that, so that looks killer. I think it ties in really well. And then the fuel filler cap, that was chrome. It was just stood out like a sore thumb to me. So he's actually powder coated that black as well. I do need your help, because right now he left the bolts silver. So I don't know if I like that look, because again, the original concept was to get rid of all aluminum, all chrome, all silver, anything except for black and blue on the car. So I don't know if those bolts need to be black as well, but that's easily changed down the line. But give me some feedback on that. What do you think? Do you like the black with the silver bolts, or do you think it needs to be all black, bolts included? I'm really thrilled with all the progress that's being made on the car. I feel like they're finally getting hands-on, going balls deep in it now. So just a few more little things on the front bumper, and then it'll be off to paint. So I really, really, really thank y'all for sticking with me, because I know this has been a long, drawn out process. Trust me, like, it's killing me not to have my car. This is my dream car, and I can't even drive it around. So can't wait to get it back. But if you have any questions about anything that I might have missed, drop them down below. I love interacting with y'all. But thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.